Instead of complaining about the company you work for, why don't you just go create the company you wish you worked for, right? And when I got that idea, the bomb drop. When I got that idea,
Those are coveted.
I was okay. Thank you. I'm keeping a little count here. See how I do. When I got that idea, I was like, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll just create the company I wish I worked for. A company where there's no race, there's no ethnicity, there's no gender, there's no age. All I care about is that's a good idea. Let's do it. Right? What is the merit? What is your contribution to the team and the world around you? And I was like, I could just make that company. And in theory, that would work, but I'll go test it. And likewise, creating the job that you wish you had. So I'll back up once more. I grew up in the Arizona desert, single mom, 4 kids. Nobody ever went anywhere or had any goals of the people I was with. Not judging them, right? This isn't right or wrong, it's DNA. But all the people I grew up with in my little Arizona town were like, I'm good. I'm just going to be here the rest of my life. Everyone I grew up with still lives in the same little area. Not judging them, like I said. But I had this plan that I was going to go see the world, right? And I literally had a plan that I was going to visit. I know this sounds a little crazy at the time, but I was going to have dinner with 50 different families in their homes in 50 different countries before I die. And this came, Brad, from a quote I read from Mark Twain, where he said, travel is the fatal enemy of prejudice, right? You're probably less surprised that I was in the travel biz now. I felt like what Mark Twain was telling me personally somehow, even though he was dead, was that if I could go out and see the world and break bread with people who don't look like me, I'd be a better person. And I was like, I want to be that man one day, right? That actually listens, understands. And so that was my goal. And when I told my friends, I'm going to go see the world, I'm going to visit 50 countries, and I'm going to have dinner with 50 families in 50 countries and 50 cultures before I die, all they did was laugh. I was like, why is that funny? And they're like, dude, no one's going to pay you to do that. There's no job called fly around the world and visit families. And I said, fine, then I'll make that job. So back to where I was when I quit my job and I was broke. I was in the airport and I missed my flight to see my mentor because the line to check in back then was so long. And I was like, wait a minute. This story is really about intent. You have to have in your head the intent. What is the life you want? What is the goal you're trying to achieve, right? If intent is in your mind and you're thinking about those things, I have to create a job where I can travel. I have to pay my bills, and I want to create the company that I really want to work for. And because I was always thinking about those things, when the moment came, I didn't miss it. Otherwise, you don't see it if you're not thinking about those things. I literally had that written on my bathroom mirror. So every day when I start the day, I would be reminded of what I'm supposed to do today. And every day when I went to bed, I would ask myself, what did you do today to get any closer to the life you wanted to live, not the life you're living?
What's up, y'all? This is Brendan Boy for the Millionaire Mindset Academy, and you just watched a clip of Jeff Hoffman. And you may not be familiar who Jeff Hoffman is, but let me tell you, you may definitely be familiar with his companies. Priceline.com, Booking.com, Ubid.com. This guy is a billionaire, motivational speaker, philanthropist, and you heard me right the first time, a billionaire. And that small little clip right there, he dropped so many gems, and I want to expand upon, so let's get right into it. So one of the things that stuck out to me in that clip that Jeff was talking about was creating a company that you want to work for. So a lot of us work, somewhere, and you may hate going to work, or you may not like your boss, or maybe you don't like the people that you want to work for, but we do it anyway, And Jeff is really talking about create the environment and create the place that you want to work. So if there's a different culture that you want to work in, if there's a different product or service that you would rather actually sell, and you just want to be happy with actually going to work, it might be something that you want to think about. Creating the job, not just working at a place to get a check. I think that's very, very important. And in this day and age, it's so doable for you to create and monetize almost anything and see an income from it. That's definitely one of the first things that I took from it that he mentioned. Another point that I want to touch on is Jeff was talking about going back home, and then going back home, he mentioned that a lot of his friends were still doing the same thing, and they didn't really have any ambition other than growing old in the same city. They didn't even want to leave the same city. And that's one of the things I want to touch on, right? So number one, you should definitely have some ambition past staying in your city or your town that you currently live in, right? There's way more world out there, and you get so much more value when you travel, you move around, and you experience. There's so many other people you can touch, networking you can do, just experiences that can be had. So that's definitely one thing that I encourage you to do. Number two, right? He was talking about like his friends, and they didn't really have any ambition, or the people that he grew up with didn't really have any ambition. So that's important. Who are you currently hanging out with? You are definitely the sum of the 5 people or 3 or even 4 people that you hang out with. Whoever you hang out with consistently, you're gonna take on that person's energy. You're gonna take on that person's like just ambition. You're gonna take on that person's persona. So if that person's not going nowhere, 9 times out of 10, you're not going anywhere either, because y'all just hang out with each other all the damn time. Another point that Jeff mentioned in the clip is the idea of dreaming big. One of the things he wanted to do was he wanted to have dinner with 50 families in 50 countries and experience 50 different cultures. Now that's a really big dream. And the people around him, they laughed at him. They didn't believe it was possible. They're like, yo, why would you even want to do that? You can't get paid for doing that. Those people around, those are all naysayers, negative Nancy's, like, you don't want those type of people around you. Why couldn't he make money from that, right? You can make money doing whatever you want. Maybe if the next person doesn't see it, but if you see it, that's all that matters. It only matters what you believe, what you think is possible, and what you're willing to do to work for. So that dreaming big is so important. And you want to make sure that you continue to dream big and have lofty aspirations, because that motivation and that drive is going to propel you to not only achieve that, but achieve some amazing things along the way. Another gem that Jeff dropped in that clip, he was talking about you got to have intent. You need to have intent for the life that you want to live. You need to have intent for the life that you want to create. Have intention for the life that you want to experience. And having that intention, your mind will be thinking about it, and your conscious and your subconscious. And when your mind is thinking about that, it's constantly figuring out how to make this happen, how to manifest that. So if you're staying with this intention each and every day, you're not going to miss the moment. And I think that's very important. So when that moment arrives and you meet that person, or maybe an opportunity comes, you're thinking about it. You got to take advantage of that because you have that intention. That's why it's very important to write certain things on your mirror, have an affirmation list, keep a journal. All those things are very important, because you're being very intentional and you're manifesting these things. You won't miss the moment, and you will take advantage. Once the universe brings them to you, you'll be able to really take advantage of the opportunities, take advantage of the moment, and build upon those things. I mean, it's simply put, like, what did you do today to get you closer to your dreams, closer to your goals, closer to the life that you want to create, not the life that you're currently living? And I think a lot of people, right, they say things, they want to achieve this, they want to achieve that, but when it comes down to it, they haven't done no work. They don't do work, and if they do work, they don't string the work together in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month, in a year, right? They don't do that. They'll do something and it don't work and they just stop. But if you want to see true success, you need to do the thing every single day, put that intention towards what you're trying to achieve. So guys, just to recap, that was Jeff Hoffman on Brad Lea's Dropping Bombs podcast, and he dropped a lot of gems in that short clip right there. I'm gonna definitely take some cues from the billionaire, and I suggest that you do the same thing. Success leaves clues, and there was a lot of clues in that clip. So if you need help being more accountable, if you need help being more productive, the Millionaire Mindset Academy, we got you. We offer one-on-one coaching, group coaching. If you're looking for an accountability guide, we also got a 90-day accountability course on the way. All the information is below in the box. You want to make sure that you tap in and listen. I just want you to go after yours. You want to make sure you tap in. All the information is in the box. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And remember, I want you to go after yours. This is Brendan Boyd. I'll see you on the next video.